Hello everybody and welcome to my studio. It's Diane here, and today we're going to paint another tropical Bahamian or Caribbean or Hawaiian view. And we're going to paint something a little bit like this, which is a view of two palm trees and a horizon and the sea and the sand in front of it. And very simple, but just to practice using these paints here, I'm going to use quinacridone gold, Caribbean blue, very appropriately, and quinacridone purple. And these are the equivalents of your yellow, blue, and red, which you always need your three primary colours. And that's what makes all the different colours that go into a beautiful painting. And with these three colours, we can make a nice, bright, tropical scene. So when you're doing a landscape, it's a good idea. We're going to do this one vertical format, and it's a good idea to divide your paper mentally into three sections, and you will either put the horizon near the top if you want to prioritize the foreground, say you want to make a big feature of the sea, or you'll put your horizon 1/3 up from the bottom if you want to prioritize the sky area. Now in this case I want to prioritize the sky because I'm going to put the trees in front, and the sky is going to be more or less the background for the leaves on the palm trees. So in other words, we're going to put our horizon approximately 1/3 of the way up. It doesn't have to be exact, but just try and make sure that it's level. Doesn't slope up or down. It's not too crucial one way or the other. We're not going to have anything on the horizon, it's just a horizon line. And then in the foreground here, we're going to indicate some sand. And then we're just going to draw a nice tall palm tree going up into the sky. There, and then we'll have another one to the side of it, which is not quite so tall, but which bends round a little bit like that. And then in this area here, we're going to put some bay grape leaves and a few dried grasses. So that's that. And of course the palm fronds are going to be coming out from the tree like this. And that's the fun bit, doing the palm fronds. And this one behind here, that's quite a big, it's got big leaves. It's not so tall, but it's going to have big leaves. Okay, so that's the basic sketch. And now I'm going to do this by, first of all, I'm going to wet the paper, and this time I'm going to use a bigger brush. Let me see, I think I will use this mop brush I've got here. Pro Art large mop, nice and big. We'll make that nice and wet, and then we'll just drop in some water. I'm using stretched paper, stuck down all around with sticky back, not sticky back, but glued brown paper tape. And I have a video which shows you how to do the stretching if you haven't done it before. So that's the sky area wetted there. And I'm going to just lift the board up a little so it's on a slight slope coming down like that. And then I'm going to pick up some Caribbean blue and drop it in from the top, and just let that drift down. And we'll just put more in as we go down, and in a second I'll just lift the board up a little bit so that it flows a little bit more downwards. And I'm going to this time put just a little bit of mauve in to indicate just a few sort of cloud-like elements as we get down towards the horizon. So let's do it like that. And then I'm just going to pick the board up and encourage it to bleed a little bit like that. So now we've got our beautiful sky. And then underneath the horizon line, we're going to put some sea. And in the Caribbean or anywhere tropical like that, tends to be in the distance, much darker. So I've just picked up the colour and I'm going to drag it along there like that. and then come down forward from there. And don't forget to stop when you get to the sand, like that. And then we'll just put a little of the quinacridone gold across there to indicate some of the sand. And we'll leave it like that. And this bit we'll leave blank for the minute because that's going to be finished off at the end. And now we'll leave it to dry. So I'll be back in a second when it's dry. Now it's time to do the, now it's dry, it's time to do the trunk of the trees. And I'm going to start off with purple. And I'm just going to drag the purple down until it more or less runs out. And then I'm going to pick up quinacridone gold and I'm going to come over the top of that and then bring that down onto the beach. So by then the colour has changed a little bit because it's going there, so you have a kind of counter change. And maybe we'll just, because this one's not as blue as the other one, we might need to add a little blue to give some hints of green to that, so we'll just do that. And then another thing we can do to make the trunk a little bit more interesting is just to scrape into it, and I need to wait for that to dry a little bit before we do that. So in the meantime we'll do the other trunk, and we'll just come in here with purple again, and I'm going to drag that round following the line I drew before, so like that. And then over the top of that with quinacridone gold, quite thick, and drag that down too. And that gives us a lovely mixture of colours there. And you don't want to play with it too much because that would spoil it. So we just add a little bit here, a little bit there. And then we'll just leave that for a few minutes to just start to sink in, and then I'm going to scrape into it a little bit to give a bit more texture to the trunk. Let's see whether it's ready yet. It all depends how thickly you put it in the first place. There we are, so you can do that. And you can do it with the broad side of a cut piece of credit card. That's what I tend to use, like that. And you can go into this one too. And just give it some texture, because I think quite a lot of palm trees have spiky bits sticking out as they go up, don't they? So you can do that if you want, or not, depends whether you feel that you want to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to start on the fronds of the palm tree. I'm going to do the one behind first, and just going to use quite a big brush and just flick down to do the frondy bits. Don't be too precious about it. You want to let the colour do the work, so as I say, follow the colour. So let the paint tell the story. And where you go up here into the sky, it's brilliant because you get the blue from behind showing up underneath, so you get these wonderful colours. And we might want to tie that together a little bit with some quinacridone, some Caribbean blue mixed in there, just to join it together. One up there, a nice green one. And then we're going to go into the second one. So let's do nice, dramatic, frondy leaves, and we change colours. We don't want them all the same colour because the sunlight, where it shines onto these leaves, will give you loads and loads of different colours and lots of different appearances. So some you might want to press quite hard and give the broader effect, and sometimes you don't. And then we want some coconuts in the middle there, so we drop in some nice dark colour, some nice purples and dark blue, dark Caribbean blue and purple. We let that bleed a little bit. Let's stick a couple of dark notes in there, and we'll see how that goes. And put some cross lines in there too. So this one is a little bit more involved than the previous one that we did earlier today, just to show you a few more techniques. And then now I'm going to put in some bay grape leaves, which are a kind of round sort of blobs like that, and we're just going to vary the colour a lot and vary the size as well quite a lot. And if we aren't happy with something, we can always dab it out a little bit if it's a little bit wrong. And then let's put in some grasses, and we'll make them in kind of golden colour as well as green, because they'll be a bit dried out, won't they, if they're on the beach. So, and then we're going to have a few purple dabs down here just to give the shadow. And of course we need a few stems in there, so we're going to make that from the blue and the all three colours together, mixed with some quinacridone, is going to give us a dark green. There we are. And let's just bring this down a little bit here. And then I need some pale, very pale lilac-y blue, which is going to give me the shadow of the trees on the hot sand of the beach. So there we are. And I think maybe we'll just add a dark line to the horizon there. To indicate where the water gets deeper in the distance. And now I think perhaps the second layer of palm frond interest there. And that's about it. And at this point I think we should probably pretty much call it a day. Maybe a tiny little bit more green down here. And at this point I'll let it dry and see where we're at. So there we are, there's the final picture, a tropical beach scene, just to bring a bit of sunshine into our lives today. So thank you for being with me. I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a try. It's fun. It's great fun painting with these lovely bright colours. And don't forget to stretch your paper if you want to avoid having cockles in it when you put water on it. So I'll say goodbye for now, and thanks again. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And soon we're going to be introducing a very inexpensive way of supporting this channel financially by paying us a few pence each month in order to receive some super extra bonus material and various bits and bobs. So please watch this space, and I'll see you again soon. So thanks very much for being here. Bye bye everybody for now. Bye bye. Bye.